Okay, hello everybody. My name is Connie Rose, and I am like this is like the highlight, honestly, of like I wouldn't say the best day of the month, but one of the best days of my month that I get to come and be with you guys and share with you my favorite thing ever. This technology saved my life, and so I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I want to hear from you guys like why you're here, what you want to get out of learning more about the AO scan technology. Okay. So it'll be 6 years on Monday, actually. My 18-year-old son, my healthy 18-year-old son, uh, had a massive heart attack that's known as the Widowmaker, and he dropped and was instantly gone and out of nowhere. And you're just never, ever, never, ever, never, ever prepared for anything like that. And going into that day, I was already having some major physical challenges in my body, and the shock and the grief of losing my only child like took me out, and I ended up in a wheelchair. I couldn't, both of my knees were bone on bone. I could not walk. My back, my lower back has all these different diagnoses that I don't pay attention to because I don't want to give it more energy than it has. And a good friend of mine, Julie Brandt, God love her, called me in August of 2020. So Nicholas went to heaven in March 16th, 2020. So fast forward to August, she called, and I wasn't doing well. I didn't want to be here. I had no active plans to not be here, and I just didn't want to be here. I couldn't figure out how to keep literally moving forward. Like, my body shut down, because here's the thing. We are not just a physical body. We have a body, and we are in the middle of our biofield. We actually have a biofield, and then there's a concentrated set of matter that's our body. And we're really a biofield. Okay, so that's a kind of a new concept for some people. Our biofield is actually more, I would say, more important, more significant than our physical body. But the physical is what we see, right? So we have a physical body, and then we have an emotional, mental, and spiritual body. And our biofield goes out about 8 to 12 feet. And so my physical and field was not in a good place. I had two very sick parents who needed me, and I didn't want to be here, and I couldn't figure out, like, nothing was working. I tried medication. I was on Valium, which I was never a medical person, but I was so desperate. I was on two different painkillers. I was on a hydrocodone, and I was on a muscle relaxer. I was on 6 different medications altogether. 6 different medications in a wheelchair. Didn't want to be here. So you kind of get the idea, right? My dear friend Julie Brandt called me up and said, "Hey girl," so I was Reiki master, and like nothing was working. Therapy wasn't working, drugs wasn't working, physical therapy wasn't working. They did different medical procedures on my body. Nothing was working. And so she said, "Hey, there's this new thing. They're looking for beta testers. They had this $38,000 device, and they're transferring all of this technology onto a digital platform, and they're looking for beta testers while they test it." And at the time, we had to buy one of their devices, and I have it right here, my tablet, and it was $1,000 for the tablet, and it was $199. That's what it was in the beginning. We had no website, we had no company name, we had nothing. And I didn't even have a scan done. But the way she was talking about this technology, I was like, okay, I'll try it. I've tried everything else. And I literally had no scan, no idea, we had nothing except this phone call. And I said, okay, here's my credit card. And she's like, "Well, I haven't joined the company yet. I need to join. I was going to see if you were going to join. And if you were going to join, then I was going to join so I could sign you up." So that's what happened. So Julie joined just to be able to sign me up. God love her. So fast forward, it took a couple weeks to get the tablet in, and we had nothing. And so I just started playing around. So here's the deal. You don't have to know anything to have it work. I guess this is why I'm trying to tell you this. You cannot break it. The software, you cannot break it. Just run it. Run it, scan, optimize. You're going to see how easy it is. And this technology was able to help me with the inner voice. And we've had 2 major improvements with inner voice. But even back then, inner voice, balancing our emotional body, helped take me from a wheelchair to a walker to a cane. And the whole process took about a year. I joined a gym, started rebuilding my muscles, and here I am. I still have pain that I still am healing. The software, but my knees are, I've never had surgery and they are no longer bone on bone. This can regenerate the body because it works on the field. Okay. And I know some of this sounds like way out there woo, and it's not. We now have the technology to measure all of this stuff. It's just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's real. So I started using this technology and walked out of the wheelchair and walked back into my life. That's why I get so excited. People laugh at me because I get so excited about this technology, because there's not a day that goes by that I don't use it, and there's not a day that goes by that I'm not clear that if I didn't have this technology, I would be back in a wheelchair. Okay? And I'm not going back. Never going back. And so if you found your way here, however you did, I'm so grateful you're here, because I want to make a difference for you tonight. So if you if you currently do not have the AO scan technology, I would love to hear, like, maybe you could put it in the chat or raise your hand and let me know. What was it that drew you to this technology? Because what I know, this technology is only limited by our imagination, because we have some new features that just came out literally last week, where before we had 171,000 frequencies, which that's a lot. That addresses a whole lot of things. And now we have a feature where we can literally put in any frequency. Okay. So it would be useful for me to know. I know everybody comes here for a different thing. Some people come in because they have emotional, like anxiety, and they want to help regulate their anxiety. Some people have physical things. I had a lot of pain as well as a lot of grief. Some people are here because they want better eyesight. Some people are here because they want more energy. Some people are here because they want to attract abundance. They want to raise their frequency. I mean, literally, like, what do you want? You know, and there's a way to have what you want with our technology, honestly. So, does anybody want to share, like, what attracted you here or what you're looking for? I just want to add value, really, is why it's... And if you don't want to share it, that's totally cool, too.
I can share. I'm Jamie Tackett. I don't even know who all is on the call. I know Patty is.
Welcome.
But honestly, I'm a curious person by nature. Patty's been helping me with some skin issues that I'm having. And oddly enough, the scan that she had done for me, it might have been the very first scan, it had detected that I had some issues with my liver. And within 24 hours, my liver was so inflamed. I didn't even realize how sick I was. But I had the wherewithal to start myself on a liver cleanse and a flush. And it probably saved my life, to be honest. And I don't know. Patty and I have known each other for a few years, and we kind of dabble in this and we dabble in that, and we get ourselves in trouble sometimes. I'm just joking, but that's kind of where I'm at. And I honestly, like, I even just bought some tuning forks. I bought a weighted 128, and I got I think a 2048 and a 1024 as well, for some specific things that I'm doing. But it is interesting. Like, I am looking to raise my vibrational state. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of med beds, but that is something that I'm looking at. So I did my first 15-minute session with myself in the living room yesterday, and I'll do another one tomorrow, trying to activate a med bed.
Well, I will tell you, we do not make medical claims ever. Like, I can tell you my story, what happened to me. Solex does not make medical claims. We do not diagnose or treat anything. And I see miracles happen every day on the physical realm, emotional, mental, spiritual realm, every day. And people have said this is like medbed technology. I wouldn't make that public claim. And I'm familiar with what you're talking about. And this Because what you're doing is it like visualization and calling in energy?
Yes,
Yeah. Like you're not connected, you don't have a device that you're running, no technology that you're running.
correct. It's all myself. Yep.
Yep. And I will tell you, Lauren Swinton, who created our software, has said this technology is like training wheels because at some day, I personally believe, and Lauren says this too, that collectively, as humanity's frequency rises, that we will have the ability to do those things. And there's people now in the world that do and can. I've not gotten to that point yet. I like having the training wheels called the AO scanner that helps me support and does it faster. Like I said, I was a Reiki master prior to this technology, and I was so, like, my frequency was so low that it was hard to generate the energy I needed to heal myself. And so it has been like the easy button, really, to be able to program it and then let it do the work for me. And I still do energy work on myself too. So like I kind of get what you're saying, Jamie. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. So I have notes and then you know how I am. I talk. So, okay, we did this. Okay, I want to tell you at the root of everything, what the software does, it does a couple things, but the root of it is, so they have identified what the quote perfect frequencies are for all parts of our physical and our field. Okay. And so what the technology does is so you create a profile and it's your own energetic blueprint that's just for you. And there's 8 billion people on the planet, but guess what? There are the odds that your energetic blueprint is like anybody else's.
I didn't. I hit the wrong button. Can you?
1 in 4.3 trillion. 1 in 4.3 trillion odds that anybody else has the same frequency blueprint as you. Okay, that's pretty amazing, pretty specific. So that's why we create the blueprint. So that's how it can find you. Lauren literally went around the world in the 80s and trying to find, his son had cerebral palsy. And the medical world has no cure for cerebral palsy. So he literally went to China, into Russia, into South America, all parts of America, Canada, Germany, to try to find anything that could help his son. And he found a bunch of other stuff along the way. And his first device was the Theta Chamber in 1988. And since then, like here we are, fast forward to today. And so this is nothing brand new. That Royal Rife has been doing frequencies back, Tesla frequencies like hundreds of years ago. Okay. And so, so they know they've measured all the specific frequencies that is going to be unique, for how the body was designed. And then it measures you. So first so you're going to hear the word scan and optimize. So scanning is scanning that person, and it scans, like I said, the field and the physical. Then what it does during the optimization process, it rescans, but here's the magic. It optimizes. So what the optimization does is it will send the frequency. So like, here's Connie, and here's how I was made in God's image. So like in every single one of our cells is this blueprint, our divine blueprint of how we're supposed to be. And then all the things that happen get us off of our blueprint, like the air we breathe and the water we drink and the thoughts we think can create toxins in our body. And of course, there's just so much out there, right? The stress causes things in our body and we get off track. And so it says, okay, here's Connie is over here. Here's that divine blueprint, which is she's made in the image of. And it says, okay, these are the frequencies that Connie needs to bring her back into alignment. That's what it does. It's very gentle, and it's custom to each person. So while there are frequencies that you could hear on YouTube and some little frequency generators, like you could spend $100 and it'll play, 528, which is great. But that's all it does. It just does that one. It doesn't bring you where you are and bring you back into alignment. That's what we call optimization. And so the root of our software, it scans you and then optimizes you, bringing you back into, now I'm 54. I turned 54 yesterday. I didn't get here overnight, and I'm not going to go back into total alignment overnight. I will tell you, Lauren still scans, and there's still things going on with Lauren, and he's been doing this literally for 30 years. So it's a process, and there's layers in the onion, and you've heard all of that before. So that's one thing that our software does, is it scans and optimizes. The other thing that it has the capacity to do is that it will broadcast frequencies to a target, and it will also, you can imprint. So we're going to be talking about broadcasting and imprinting a little bit later. But let me just really quickly, I see we have another guest that's on. Is that right? Libby is, I think Libby said she has a guest on. Oh, thank you, Patty. Thank you, Melissa. I don't know. Okay? Does your guest want to let me know like what she's interested in learning about, so that I make it more targeted to her?
Yes, I put it in the
Okay.
chat. Insomnia. Hi,
Okay.
Connie. This is Krista.
Yes.
I have found out recently if I detox, um, it helps to sleep better. So I went ahead and put that in the chat. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So you're here to find some solutions for sleeping.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That helps. Okay. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to briefly just go over some things with you all about our software. Can everybody see my screen? Thank you. Okay, we're just going to start at the top. So up here at your profile, and again, I'm not going to go do a deep dive at any of this. And if anybody wants a deep dive later at the end, I will do all that. This technology, you can enter in your supplements and your therapies so that you can figure out what your body actually needs. The medical model has trained us, like, you take this medication every day, you just take your supplements every day. Well, your body doesn't always need it. And how do we know? And so the software can scan you and tell you what you need. You have to put your supplements in here. And I'll tell you right up front, our software is $149 a month. It used to be $199 when I was in beta testing, and now it's $149. Lauren promised us it'll never be more than $149, and it keeps expanding and expanding. So one of the things I want to show you is not only how the software is $149 a month, no contracts, simple to use, and it's worth way more than that. And I'm going to show you how this actually not only makes me money, saves me money, way worth more than the $149, to bring value to you and your family. So first of all, just here, just under your name, that's where you put in new clients. You could have unlimited people. There's other programs out there that you pay a subscription for yourself, and then if you are married, they have to have a subscription, and your children and your parents and your dog. Like literally, you could have your family in here, your four-legged family. You have to pay for a different subscription for everyone. With our software, it's literally unlimited. So if you ran a medical holistic clinic and had 2,000 patients, you could put all 2,000 patients into the software. So if you are just wanting to use it for yourself and your family and your loved ones and your neighbors and your friends and all the things, you could do that too. So with supplements, you enter in your supplements, and you can enter in your therapies that you do, and it'll scan your body and it'll tell you, do I need this or not? So, if you're taking melatonin, for example, if you're working on sleep, if your body doesn't need melatonin, then it'll tell you don't need it today. So it's a good information to have. So the first month that I was using the software, we were spending about $600 a month on supplements. And right away, my supplement usage decreased. I felt better because not only was I getting the frequency support, but I wasn't overloading my liver, because even supplements, you have to metabolize through your liver. And so you're still processing things, right? So, and that takes energy and resources and all the things. So you really don't want to be taking more supplements than you need to. I just heard a podcast guy from Europe, a doctor in Europe, said Americans have the most expensive urine in the world because we take all these dang supplements and we don't necessarily need them all. Okay. So I'm telling you, my first month I saved more than the $149 just in the supplement savings. So that's under your profile. Like I said before, pets and animals. So you could add your dogs, cats, horses. We have people who use their herds of cattle in here, their chickens, their pet birds. So you could put in your animals. And here's the thing with animals. they don't have, there's no placebo effect. So like, I know when I'm running frequencies, I'm like, yeah, I feel better because I was, if I have a migraine, I'll run the different frequencies for that relief and I'll get the relief. And I've had people say, well, how do you know it's not a placebo effect? I'm like, well, I know when I ran out my cats and my cat was sick, and then I ran the frequencies and scanned her and optimized her and she got better and I didn't have to go to the vet. Like, she doesn't know what I was doing, So we've had fascinating stories about pet testimonials, honestly. Also, you could add in objects and spaces. So I'll just show you some of mine. It went away. Okay, here we go. Objects and spaces. So you could add things like your house. You could add your bank account. I add the gym. So when I'm going to the gym, I'm sending good frequencies to everybody that's working out with me there. I have different tools in here. My computer. You can send frequencies to objects and spaces. So that's also available in here. So literally, like, your brain might be going, oh my gosh, can it do this? And I'm like, well, we can figure out a way. Okay. Here also, you could do groups. So it says manage client groups. So I have a group of like my family members. So I have my brother and my niece, and I have my cats and I have their cats. And, I have some clients in there, and I could run a scan and optimization for vitals and comprehensive, which I'm going to talk about that in a minute, for everybody, all 16 people at one time, and it takes like minutes. So you could do groups of people where you could scan and optimize them, and you could do groups of people where you're broadcasting frequencies to. So there's huge time savers in here. These features were not here when I first joined the company. Most of these features were not here. And like I said, they just keep adding value. Okay, we're just going to go through some of these tabs. So quick scan, it allows you to do a morning, midday, evening, or a custom scan. This is also one of the places you could scan your pets. And you literally just speak for 10 seconds, depending on what category you're looking at. So like I have these different categories in my scanner that I put in, and I could click on the different ones I want. If I need a word for the day, my pain relief options, and then you speak for 10 seconds and it'll tell you what you need. Okay, so that's what quick scan does. The energetic auras, this is so great. I start every day with this. It clears your aura, which is our field, right? And then you can shield, and then we have a special EMF shield. I'm going to turn that one off. And then we have 3-minute boosts. They're all very self-explanatory. Supercharger, when you need more energy. Focus, when you're trying to concentrate. Relax is great. Some of us have a hard time kind of relaxing into the evening. Grounding is very good. So every morning I do clear, shield, EMF shield, and grounding to get my day off the best way I can be. That seems to be like, and Lauren recommends that too. Neuroaerobics, what it does is it helps the left and right hemispheres of the brain communicate, top, bottom, front, and back. And in 3 minutes, still here, it'll work on your whatever the goal is right there. So it's super simple. The next thing I do in the morning is I do easy scan, and this combines 3 scans in one. This is what we had when we first got started. We had these 3 scans plus SEFI. That's all we had. And so I'm going to go through this in a minute, but the inner voice, this does in one step in 6 minutes. It'll do your inner voice scan, and then it'll do your vitals scan and optimization, plus your comprehensive scan and optimization. Now, I want to tell you is that these are called intelligent scans. They're not the vitals and comprehensive is not the full scan. It's great on a day-to-day basis when you do not have like symptoms that you're dealing with. If you have symptoms that you're dealing with, I recommend the whole scan and the whole optimization, and then re-optimizing throughout the day is what I recommend if you have symptoms that you're dealing with. On a day-to-day, if you're pretty healthy, this is great. But it was designed for practitioners because there's literally over 30,000 things that this one scan does. And if you had to go through line by line and you're a practitioner trying to see people to help them, can you imagine how long that would take? And so what this scan does, it only shows the things that are still out of balance after the optimization. So some people like freak out a little bit because when they look at the reports, all they see is all the red, but that's all there is. They don't see the 29,000 things that have been balanced and optimized. So just that's something to keep in mind. It's not full scans. It's the intelligent scans based on your inner voice technology. and then it'll scan your vitals, and then it'll take the information like for what comprehensive needs from the vital scan. So it's a modified scan, just so that everybody's clear on that. So inner voice is, to me, one of our crown jewels. It will record your voice. This is one of the parts of our software that needs your voice. It's a 10-second recording, and it literally will scan across 12 notes and 9 different octaves. And then it'll show what's most out of balance in the graph, and then it'll tell you, it'll create music for you to bring that back into balance. So we've had different iterations through the years. I call this Inner Voice 3.1 because now we have Verity grounding. And in addition, so these recordings need to be listened to with headphones, because Lauren has it programmed where one set of frequencies is on one side, one headphone, the other side is on the other side, and then it creates a third sound in the middle. So it's total brain coherence. Total brain coherence. And you've heard of the brain, like mind and heart connection. This also brings that back into balance. This is like, to me, the foundation of everything, because, so I'm an NLP, which stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. I'm an NLP master coach and trainer. And what we believe is that for every physical condition that there is an emotional and or mental condition that goes along with it. And if you understand quantum physics, it makes sense, because we are literally this blob of matter in the middle of our biofield, right? So our energy of our mental and our emotional bodies are saturating our physical body. So of course, if something's going on in the field, of course it's affecting the physical. How could it not? How could it not? And so the Verity grounding, in addition to the balancing harmonics that it has, over 2,000 unique frequencies for you. So while, like, let's say, so right now I have C that's mostly out of balance. So let's say tomorrow I get the same C that shows up. But guess what? The music, it's going to sound the same because the overall music is in the key of C and all that music sounds the same. However, there's 2,000 frequencies in the background that I cannot hear that are addressing those issues for the day. Lauren said there will never, ever, never be 2 inner voice songs that are exactly alike. Statistically, it's impossible. So that's why you want to do it every day. You'll see themes that'll go on. Like, it's not uncommon for me to have C very high. It also deals with grief, and with my circumstances in my life, that's something I deal with on a regular basis. So it doesn't surprise me that C's out a lot, and it might sound the same, but it's different based on that day's scans. Then there's tonal therapy, that if you just want to hear the tones itself, if you do balancing harmonics, it takes about 12 minutes. Tonal therapy takes about 3. Before we had Verity grounding, we had pulse tones, and we could listen to them that way as well. If you want to listen and change the frequency wave pattern, you could change that too. If you're interested, I just did a presentation where I talked about the frequency waveforms, and I have more information on that. If anybody's interested in that, hit me up either in the chat, or you can email me at ConnieRoseUp@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to send that information to you. Because the waveform matters when you're on the pulse tones. Next, we have vitals. Vitals scans and optimizes things like food sensitivities, your blood work, chakras, gastrointestinal functions, your meridians, nutritional analysis like macronutrients, micronutrients, amino acids, things like that. Physical functionality, things like bone, like what's going on with your bone health, what's going on with your ligament health. There's all different types of physical functionality. Now, we're not talking, so I tell people that vitals is kind of like the software, whereas comprehensive, which we're going to go through next, is like the hardware of the body, things you could touch. Like in computer world, like hardware is things that you could touch, like the speaker, the screen, the mouse, that's hardware. Whereas the software is the functioning of it all. So the vitals is like how the body physically functions. Also, it's all the toxicities. So I know, Krista, you were talking about insomnia and the connection between insomnia and detoxing. This literally will help you scan and optimize all the different types of toxicities in your body. And then scan, and then you just hit optimize. It's that simple. Scan, optimize. Next, I'm going to skip over this for a second. I'm going to go straight to comprehensive because we talked about that. That's why when you see intelligent scan, it'll be based on just your inner voice, or if it's based on just your vitals or combined, that's what we're getting in easy scan. The custom scan has everything. So again, this is like the hardware of the body. Things you can touch. Things like arteries. Guess what? This goes over all the chromosomes. I mean, it's that detailed. Connective tissue, your ears, your eyes, your heart, your lymphatic system, muscles, nerves, your organs, your skeleton, your veins. So literally you hit scan, it runs the scan, thousands of different things, and then it'll optimize your frequency, and then you get a report at the end. Then we have body systems, and it literally goes through every system of the body. So we had the software, we had the hardware, so the system is how they work together, right? So it's the circulatory system, connective tissue, digestive, endocrine, lymphatic, musculoskeletal, nervous system, respiratory system, sensory nervous, integumentary, urinary. Again, there's all those little chromosomes on a gene level. Human cell and mitochondria, that's a big one. And then we also have hormone panels where you could run and balance your hormones. I don't know if anybody could use that, but I do this one. I do this one every day. And then the chemistry report. And again, this is even easier. So all you do is hit scan and optimize one time, and it takes you through the whole thing, and it gives you like I don't even know how many pages of the report. It's very detailed. But the biggest thing is I want people to remember, you've been optimized. Like, we don't diagnose, we don't treat, we don't do any of that. What you got to remember is that we're optimizing. So it's like you're taking you from an incoherent state where you're out of balance, and then it's the frequencies that are being sent to you are bringing you back into balance, because when we're in alignment with how we're designed, then the body naturally will heal itself. We do not heal or treat anything. The body the body's the miracle. The software is pretty darn cool, and the body's the miracle when we get back into coherence. Multi-scan, I was telling you, you could run groups or individual, but it'll do the vitals and comprehensive all at one time. It's a huge time saver. The reason why homeoenergetics and dental TMJ are blocked off is because of the basic subscription and the basic training that comes with our course. These two, there's huge databases and huge data storage that goes along with these. And so there's additional courses to learn about homeoenergetics and the dental TMJ. And once you take the course through Solix University, levels 2 and 3, it'll unlock the database to give you access to those. The basic membership does not include those two areas. Then we have SEFI. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this was the other area that like really saved my life. So there's a feature called Erase. So Erase is where it will literally erase things that are not supposed to be there. So it dawned on me early on. Now I will tell you, Solix doesn't really teach this, but this is just something I like to experiment with things. And so one of the things I found out early on is I had all this pain in my knees and I couldn't hardly move, right? So I was doing the inner voice and getting balanced emotionally. And yet there was still some, like my knees, I was in so much pain. So it dawned on me, like pain is really a signal in the body that something's off. But once you got that signal, it could turn off. Like, let's just turn it off. And so literally I would take my tablet here and I would put it on Erase and I'd put it on my knee. And because I wanted to erase the pain. And guess what? It did. Now, is it automatic? Is it instant? No. It takes a minute. Like I always scan and optimize. So I always clear, shield, ground, and then I do the scans and optimization so that my body's in the best way it can be before I use SEFI. I tell that to everybody. If you're just using SEFI and not preparing your body and your biofield to accept it the best way, like you might want to take a look at that. You always want to ground, clear, shield, ground first, do the scans and optimizations, then your body is most ready to receive the frequencies. So the Erase, literally I use this with clients every day. Getting rid of pain and anxiety are the two biggest things that I help people with on a day-to-day basis over Zoom. And so you put your software up to the area of the pain, and it'll pull out the frequencies that are causing the pain. It's amazing. So literally you just hit start and it runs for about 10 seconds. And this one thing right here, I'm going to tell you, like I said, I was on 6 medications that I'm no longer on. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. Then also in SEFI, we have Imprint, where we could literally take anything. So in the morning, it'll tell me what supplements I need. And then I put them in a little glass and I put them on the top of the screen. And then I take another little glass of really good water, filtered water, and I put it on the bottom. And so it'll say copy from, copy imprint into. And so what I know is I could imprint the frequency of my supplements, put it into the frequency of my water so that it prepares my body to get the most out of my supplements. Isn't that amazing? So you can literally copy from, and I can't say a lot of different things, but you could just use your imagination. You could copy from here into something that will hold a frequency. So that could be, water. That could be homeopathic sugar pellets. That could be a crystal. That could be, we have SEFI dots. And these are little dots that we have. They're amazing. They're just like little holographic stickers that will hold a frequency.
Honey, do you still take your supplements then?
So I will say I also muscle test, but then you can use the software to muscle test too. So there's days that my body wants the chemistry of the supplement, and there's days that it doesn't need the chemistry of the supplement. So I will say, this is the story I could tell. When I first got the software, I had kidney stones. I used to get kidney stones, terrible, terrible kidney stones. And they gave me a very powerful pain medication that made me very, very sick. And I'm like, there's no way I could take this medication because it would make me vomit, but it would give me pain relief. So I took this pain medication and put it into water, and I would drink the water, and my pain levels would go down. Now I'm going to tell you, the powers that be don't want people to know that can be done. And there's still times that you need. So here's the thing, and Nadia and I talk about this all the time. While there are general protocols of things that work and don't work, everybody's different. Like my body's different, my biofield's different. So like what works for me may not work for you. So you just have to kind of play around with it to see what works. I will tell you, when I do take supplements, I almost always will imprint them into the water that I take them with, because what Lauren taught me was that it'll prepare the body to get the most out of them. So the answer is yes and no. I'm sorry, I wish I could give you a clearer answer. And this is what I have to say about that. Play with it, Patty. Like, play with it and see what happens. You know what I mean? Because there are times where our body needs the chemistry interaction with that. I would never, ever, never, please be clear about this. I am not saying don't take medication. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying see what your body needs and act accordingly. The pain medication I was on for the kidney stones was making me violently ill. And I was looking for pain relief. And that was before I realized that the erase could just take care of it. So that's what I did with this. Does that make sense? Okay. Under SEFI, we also have I'm going to skip over this custom playlist for a second because all of these categories go into this. So there's different categories of frequencies that they have. So there's categories like this is quantum reach, and there's different, I would say, like it's things like abundance and confidence and creativity and focus and gratitude. Those kind of frequencies. Then there's the quantum frequencies that are the things that mostly are in the body. So if you're looking for something that's in that deals with the body more, I would look under quantum frequencies. And we have a PDF file that's like 53 pages long. Again, if you don't have that, let me know and I can get that to you. That has all the frequencies listed here. Literally, I mean, there's so many different things that it has. So I know, here's insomnia. I know that Krista was talking about insomnia. And I know somebody else was talking about skin. Like we have lots of different things. Like there's skin problems, skin inflammation, there's lots of different things that address different things about skin too. I mean, it's literally like what do you want? Then we have quantum affirmations that are, again, there's all the addictions, allergies, anxiety, arthritis, common cold, compulsive behavior, depression, diabetes, energy boost, female. I mean, there's so many different things. And like, and if you're thinking like, yes, I want to do this as a business, like who do you like pick one. Here's insomnia again. Mastering stress, migraines. Like you could have a whole business with just pain control. You could have a whole business just addressing PMS. You could have a whole business just with like super memory. I mean, like any weight management, dear Lord, multi-billion-dollar industry. I mean, there's so many things that you could address with any of these addictions, learning. Okay. Then we have all the Bach flower and bush flower remedies are in here. Every single one. So you never have to buy those again because now you can make the energetic imprint of those. We also have all the homeopathics and the cell salts and the no-sodes. And then we have them by symptoms. So again, if you have physical things going on, you could go to homeopathics by symptoms. And like there's acne issues. I will tell you, I'm somebody who used to get migraines. And the only time I get migraines now is when the barometric pressure shifts. So for those of you that get headaches when the barometric pressure shifts, there is a headache here, right here, barometric changes. And Sophie, stop. And so there's different headaches, back of head. There's I'm going to tell you this barometric pressure, it's just this one homeopathic remedy here, is flippin' amazing. Like I could get rid of a barometric headache that used to like take me out for the day in minutes. Again, you scan, optimize all of the things, and then do the SEFI, like erase, and then imprint this like right into your brain, like wherever the pain is. And it's such a blessing, such a blessing. We also have a ton of essential oils. So all the essential oils are in here. Not all. There's a bunch of essential, like the most popular essential oils are in here. And again, like I could teach an hour on each one of these. So I just want to kind of quickly go through these minerals. Oh, I forgot the chakras. We have chakras. All the chakras are in here. AO minerals. It's the electrolytes, micro minerals, which are so important. And then of course the fun ones like gold, platinum, silver, titanium. I have gold frequencies go into my bank account. That's what I do. Then we also have energy homeoenergetics. So, Krista, you were talking about different detoxes. Here's this list where it says DT, that's a detox. So we have like lots of different detoxes in here, as well as other things like things to assist with diabetes, female support, heart plus. Here's an insomnia detox specifically for you. Lithium plus, menopause support. There's a frequency here called Ultimate Emotions. It is all of the Bach flower remedies in one. Here's also Trace Mineral Complete. It's all the trace minerals if you need to imprint those into to water your body, jewelry, whatever. It is amazing. Amazing. Then we have SEFI dots. So these are pre-done playlists really, where you could imprint them into anything. We have SEFI dots, but you could literally print them into, like I have these different, like if you see me at convention, I usually always bring, cause I'm a dork. And so I bring like little holographic, like last year I brought butterflies. They're like holographic, stickers that will hold the frequencies. Anything holographic will hold the frequencies. So, they have in this, so you don't have to necessarily use a SEFI dot. You could imprint this into water or anything else that you would imprint. So it's allergy defense, arthritis, cellular restore. Now, I'm going to teach you something if y'all don't know this. The I next to whatever frequency comes up is the information about it. So cellular restore, it enhances stem cell activity. That's a big deal. And glutathione production. There is another company that sells these patches for stem cells. That's all it does is stem cell production. And it's like $140 a month. And it does one thing. Again, like, so one of the ways you can offset the cost of this is you can share this with people. Like, tonight we have, Patty and Libby invited some guests here to hear about this. And it's like a super affiliate program. It's multi-level marketing. And when you introduce it to people, part of their subscription gets paid to the person who referred them to the program. This to me is one of the easiest things that you could share because like literally it can address anything that you're working with. So there's people are spending a lot of money on these patches. I'm just telling you, this blows my mind. And we have we can have a patch with all this stuff. So allergy defense, arthritis, cellular restore, energetic balance, energetic clear shield, energy endurance, immune defense, mood, pain, perfect body. That's a weight release one. Sleep, youth eternal. So these are kind of like, think of them as pre-built frequency lists. And again, there's an erase button here. You can imprint it, broadcast it. Okay, then we have AO Tune. So I think I remember, I can't remember her name. Patty's, your friend, said that she had just bought the tuning forks.
Her name
Yeah.
is
Say that again.
her name is Jamie.
Jamie, that's right. So sorry, Jamie. Jamie just bought a couple tuning forks. Well, guess what, Jamie? We have every tuning fork. We have the frequency of all the tuning forks in here. So we have Gamma, and we have Schumann, and then we have all the planetary frequencies here, which I didn't even know those were the tuning forks. We have planetary chakras in here. We have the solfeggio chakra frequencies in here. We have all the organs of the body in here. We have DNA and RNA. We have spiritual insights, helps with their pineal gland, and then the auto clearing forks. And so, I mean, it's literally all the tuning fork frequencies. So you don't have to go buy any more tuning forks. And then we have multicast, where again, you could put that group of people and it'll broadcast to a whole group of people at once, 5 different playlists. And each playlist, which we're going to talk about in a minute, can do 15 different frequencies. So it's such a gift. So then the newest thing as part of SEFI is frequency cleanse. So frequency cleanse. So a lot of people fall asleep with noise in the background. So I didn't know this. I knew there was white noise, but I didn't know about pink noise or brown noise. And so if you click on these different ones, it'll tell you what the different noises are. So those first 3, white, pink, and brown, are great when you're sleeping. Blue noise is typically waking up the mind. Purple noise, they said, is great for tinnitus. In addition to the different types of noise, there's cleanse modifiers, which are all the solfeggio frequencies. And again, if you're not sure what each one is, you can click on the eye and it'll tell you what that frequency will do with it. You can scan and it'll just tell you what you need in general. And then there's a binaural mode that whenever you see binaural, that means you have to use headphones because there's one frequency in one ear, one frequency in the other, and then it goes back and forth. Now, here's the coolest thing that you definitely need headphones for this. It's called Frequency Reset Sweep. So I don't know if you remember it in Inner Voice, there's 9 octaves, 12 notes. This will do all 12 of the notes and it'll reset in your brain. So if you are having like a stressful moment and just need to get your brain reset, I got hijacked this afternoon. My ex-husband sent me a text and I got a little hijacked about it. And so I didn't have 12 minutes to go do the whole Inner Voice again, but I had like a minute. And so I put my headphones on and ran the frequency reset sweep. And I was like, it just rebalanced my brain again. And I'm like, okay, I'm good again. And so if you haven't tried the frequency reset sweep with headphones, because it's binaural, it's amazing. So that's one of our newest features. Like I said, they continue to make it better. So here, this custom playlist, you could take any of the other frequencies. So you could just click on add and literally add any of these other frequencies in there and build a list of up to 15 frequencies. Also, for those of you who have been around, if you have your frequency that you like, when you edit it, and that's one of your favorite ones, if you go to edit, you would add it to your favorites that way. You have to do that under the edit function. So you just click on your favorites, click on favorite, hit save, and that way if you just want to look at your favorites, then just your favorites will show up. That's how that works. And then there's a new feature, and this is like, honestly, this is amazing. I know you keep hearing me say that, and it's such a blessing that we have this. So there's a new feature called Add Custom. So now we could literally put in any any frequency, as long as we know the number, which we have resources for this, you could plug in the number. So I was told like the God frequency was 111. So I would type in God frequency, or if I don't know the name of it, I just type in the number. And I'll do 111 here, and I'll do 111 here, and then I add that in there, and now I have the God frequency. So let's say I heard there's an angel frequency. I'm really into angels. So I'm just going to turn angel frequency, and that's 888. 888. Add custom. So now I got the God frequency and the angel frequency. I'm going to get my frequency up high. Okay. And I'm just going to call this spiritual. Spiritual. I got 2 so far. I could add more. And I could literally go in and hear it, like here under AO Tunes. You know, we have those spiritual awakening frequencies. I could add those in there. My pineal gland, my crown chakra, my third eye, you know, like what else do you want, right? So it's that easy to build a playlist. Hit save. Oh, I already have a playlist called Spiritual. I'm not surprised. Spiritual new. And so now I have that. And again, just like you could have an unlimited number of clients, you could have unlimited number of playlists. And with multicast, you can send 5 of those to somebody at the same time. So 5 times 5 lists times 15 frequencies per list, that's 75 frequencies you could send to 16 people at once. All different playlists. Like, you know, Connie gets these playlists, Bill gets these playlists, Evelyn gets these playlists, Melissa gets these playlists. Oh, yeah. Amazing. The last thing on the scanner I'm going to talk to you about before I share one of our new things that I've been playing with is our AO Mind Sync. So AO Mind Sync allows you, so like I told you, I was an NLP master coach and trainer. Just so you know, I invested $30,000 in a whole year of study in my life to do this certification. And I'm grateful I did. However, when Lauren brought out Mind Sync, I thought, wow, I didn't even need that, because this is like the ultimate biohack. So I don't know if you all know this, but your unconscious mind controls like 97, 98, 99% of your life. It's these limiting beliefs that have us do the things that we do over and over and over. This is like a biohack using binaural beats. It puts the brain in a theta, and it's your voice, your words, reprogramming those limiting beliefs that are not serving you. So literally, when they talk about change your frequency, change your life, I believe everything is a brain pattern and a frequency. So now we have the brain pattern part of it. We also have another part of our company. We have literally brain hardware that will rewire the neurological parts of the brain with the hub. If you're interested in that, talk to the person who invited you to this. Amazing. So with the AL Mind Sync, it literally goes and it reprograms the brain. Now you need to listen to this every day, and I would say at least 6 to 12 weeks. You could record your affirmations, and you could activate inner voice now. So if y'all didn't know that you could activate the inner voice, you could choose Pulse or Verde. I'm a big Verde fan. I always choose Verde. It's always the note. Remember I said C was out? It's always the highest note is what it pulls up for you. And I like to be on mid. You could activate the tones, which are the flowers. So you could go scan yourself in quantum flowers, or you could just choose one of the emotional categories. But this is what we all to get. Not only is it total brain coherence because of the inner voice, but it activates brain heart. It's like the Heart Math Institute. All of that stuff talks about getting in coherence, right? This Mind Sync does that with the additional power of your words, your intention reprograms your brain. So if you have any kind of limiting concerns around money, love, your body, your business, anything at all in the world that's going on, you can reprogram that with this. To me, this is priceless. To me, this is like $149 a month. Are you kidding me? This is priceless to be able to literally create the life that you want. That's what this does. That's what our software does. Honestly. Let me give me a minute before I bring the star out. I want to make sure I covered a lot of stuff. It really is like having a frequency wellness clinic in the palm of your hands, because it will work on your phone. It'll work on your tablet. It'll work on your computer. It's available. This, talked about that. Oh, this is what I will also say. One of the reasons why we never ever say we diagnose anything, I talked a little bit about it before. So we have a field and a physical. So when the reports come back, we don't know if it's reporting on the field or if it's reporting in the physical. And when dis-ease comes in, it comes in through the field before it hits the body. So we don't know if it's on its way in, but guess what? When dis-ease leaves the body, it goes back out. So we don't know if it's coming in or if it's going out, if it's in the physical or if it's in the field. So that's a key thing that you guys got to remember. So just because something shows up on your report, it is not a diagnosis. It is just saying something in the field is either on its way in or way it's out. And it might not even be yours, because the second thing I want to tell you, one of the reasons why we clear and shield is because we pick things up from people. Like our field goes out 8 to 12 feet. So like I'm at the grocery store and like who knows what you're going to pick up, or like at the park or at the mall or at work or wherever you are with your family members even, you know, you could pick up things. And so it could be stuck in your field and the software is so sensitive, it'll pick it up. So, you know, it might not even be your stuff. So that's another thing. The third thing is, just like our ancestors passed down genetic material, we pass down energetic material. Greg Braden, the most recent thing I heard was 14 generations. So 14 generations of stuff. So when they're called miasms. So sometimes like this miasm shows up of syphilis. Now I know I don't have syphilis or gonorrhea. I know I don't have those things, but somewhere maybe 14 generations above did, and I'm clearing it out. So I just want you all to know, like, you're going to get these reports are so detailed. This does not diagnose, because we don't know if it's field, physical, somebody else's, generational, on its way in, on its way out. But this is what you know. You've been optimized. You've taken an incoherent state and brought you as close as you can be into coherence. So just keep optimizing. Because I promise you, you keep optimizing. Like, I don't get sick anymore. Like, I just don't get sick because my field, I don't give my field a chance to, like, it clears it up in the field before it gets to the physical. Because most people think is our physical impacts our field. It is the other way around. So you just keep optimizing, and I'm telling you, you'll see. You'll just see. Just try it. There's no contract. Just try it. Okay. We talked about... Okay. So I talked to you about the supplement savings. I told you that you could even share this with people and build a business. I am not a CPA. I have been self-employed since I was 13. So that's going on 41 years now. And I will tell you, there's tax benefits for joining Solex as we're called Quantum Living Advocates. And it's $49 once a year. And then that unlocks like 400 and some tax benefits. Now, again, I'm not a CPA, but this is what I do know. That my CPA lets me write off my $149 a month subscription. I get to write off, well, I have to have the internet, so I get to write that off. I have to have a phone to do everything. I get to write that off. I get to go to lunch with my friends and talk to them about this. So guess what? I get to write that off. I get to go to DOD and fly out there and stay at a hotel or bed and breakfast or Airbnb, whatever we're staying at. Those are all legitimate tax benefits. You can not only earn additional revenue, and you're also going to have tax savings. So the 149, can you see how it's like it just goes down and down and down? With the mind sync, can you see where just using this technology to shift your limiting beliefs about what's possible for your life? That to me is anything. Like, an ability to change your frequency. Like, what is that worth to you? It's like less than $5 a day. I don't know what I spend in a day that's as valuable as what I use with this technology. It's $5. So the other thing is, I want to tell you, because you're here with our group, you have access. I work directly with Dr. Nadia Lutz, and this is her team. She is amazing. Not only is she our team leader, she's on the faculty of Solix University's School of Naturopathies. She's one very smart cookie. And in addition to all of the training that Solix provides, our team, like, you're getting a community. And I don't know if you all have read Think and Grow Rich, and they talk about, like, you want to surround yourself with people of like mind. And our community is the best. I'm just telling you. I had lunch with Kai and Shelby a couple weeks ago. And I said to them, like, I know I'm biased, but I'm telling you, Nadia's team, like, we got the best team ever of the whole group, because we have so much fun. We have resources and support. Every Wednesday night, we have some kind of training and support. Plus, we have a Telegram channel, and we have a Facebook. If you're more Facebook or if you're more Telegram, we have groups for you there. And Dr. Nadia, before I started recording, but I want to get this on recording. Dr. Nadia has this whole body reset, weight loss, and detoxification program. It's an 8-week program of education. Plus, if you want to become a certified quantum energy practitioner, now this is not Solix University School of Naturopathy. This is her certification program. This is Dr. Nadia's program. Because you're part of our group, you could go through this program, which normally she charges other people to do this, but because you're with our group, you get this for free. Free. So, the education, the community, all the things, I hope you're starting to see, like, wow, it's only $149. Yeah, it's only $149. And so if this is something, okay, I can't, let me go through the chat real quick to make sure. Waveforms. So yep. Oh, everybody likes the waveforms. Yeah. You do not have to use the headphones with the quick scan. Initially we did. They have upgraded the software such that you no longer need the headphones when you're being scanned. We used to need that. We do not. This is a great testimonial in there about the supplements. Okay. So, who wants to hear about the SEFI Star? Does anybody want to hear about the SEFI Star? So, now we have the SEFI Star. And it literally... So I've been running it during this presentation. So it's plugged in. So it's so powerful, it has to be plugged in. Oh, I need to let somebody in the room. And I have this, like, ultimate manifestation playlist that I've been running through here. I don't know if you've heard Nadia talk about the design. It's the 12-pointed copper star with the sacred geometry that amplifies it. And there's 12 layers of the wire with the lights, with an induction coil, with a magnetic coil, with the mirror that will literally, just without the mirror, it will increase the power 12 times. With the mirror, it takes it to, like, infinity. So I had bought this little money symbol. Like, I don't even know what it's made of. It's kind of some kind of stone. And so I've been imprinting it here. So I'm going to be carrying this with me. But not only, so I just used it prior to the session on a remote healing session where I had my friend as the client, and she's dealing with a pretty significant diagnosis. I'm not going to share what that is, but it's pretty significant. And so we looked up where to place this on my body. So she was the target. I had done a custom playlist for her, and we put it over her spleen. I put it over my body on my spleen, and I just held it up to my body. So literally, like, so it's a speaker. Can you guys hear it at all? Those are the frequencies running through it. There's a speaker. So I talked to Lauren. Guess how lucky I am? Like, I tell you, I'm so blessed. Lauren Swenson called me up for my birthday last night. And so, I got this a little early because he personally made sure I got this into my hands for my birthday. I love him so much. And so I'll tell you some, like, little tips and tricks. So I said to him, like, because somebody I'd seen on Facebook where they said, customer service said 5 to 7 days, the hold of frequency. And he goes, I don't know why customer service says what they say sometimes. And the reality is, this technology, well, first of all, this particular technology he's been working on for 2 years. Prior to that, he had a bigger device that went along with a $38,000 device that was $6,000. And now this is $649. So that this is only $649 and does what it does is amazing to me. I'm going to put this down. And so there's a speaker. So I don't know if I went live, I guess it was yesterday. And so you can look me up on Facebook. It's Connie Rose. And I did a little video, and I write music for my clients. It's called Soul Songs. And it's really about the frequency and who they are and part of their design. And so when I went to go see Lauren, when I was recording my session for Day of Discovery, he shared some things with me. And he's like, what would you do like if you could take the frequency of your music and imprint it into something? And I was like, oh my goodness. So think about this. Like if you have like a prayer song or like literally anything, you could take the frequency of that and imprint it into now things that usually hold frequency are things like water, metal. It's why I wear all the rings, because our hands have so much energy coming out of them. Like I love jewelry, but it also amplifies the energy coming out of me. And so so instead of me having to program my jewelry every morning, now Nadia did say if I have like a burst of negative energy or like my frequency drops, then I'm going to want to re-imprint it. But Lauren told me that he used to do these patches that were permanently etched. Like this is beyond imprinting. This is etching. It is like a frequency tattoo. Okay. And he has patches from 2008 that are still working from 2008. It's like, what, 16 years ago? I call that permanent. I don't know about you. That's pretty dang permanent, right? So I know that when we wear it on our body, our field and our physical can influence it, but it holds steady. It holds steady. The other thing is things that could not be imprinted before, like a pillow, can now be imprinted. So if you're working on things like breast health, you can etch the frequencies of healthy breast tissue into your bra. I mean, when I say your imagination is the only thing that's limited by this, it's the only thing that is limited. So one of the things I asked Lauren last night is, I have a recording of my son laughing, and it's on a video. And I said, will I be able to take his laughter and imprint the frequency of his laughter onto his class ring that I wear? And he's like, oh my gosh, Connie, I never thought of that. Yeah, you can. So I'm going to be working on that next. So like the gift that the gift that we have in our hands. I mean, you know, I know I'm a goofball and I, you know, get too excited about stuff sometimes, but I'm telling you, there are people like me that would cry through the night to ask for God for help. And thank God my friend Julie called me. Because there's people right now that you know that are praying and crying for solutions that we have the answer for. And all we get to do is say, hey, I'm using this software. It seems to make a difference for me. Can I give you a session? Do inner voice. I'm telling you, I've done it all. I've done it all the wrong way. Inner voice is by far the fastest, easiest, because they get the recordings and they get a real experience. And then I ask them if they have pain or anxiety, because pain and anxiety, I could deal with that on a Zoom call, and then they have an experience. But we have such an opportunity to make such a difference for the planet here. And with this frequency, the SEFI Star, it just takes it to a whole different level. So when I went out to dinner with my best friend last night, I left it running in my, I have a split level house, and I have this vaulted room that has like its kitchen, living room, dining room. And so it's like this big open space. I'm like, I want this space to feel like love and, you know, abundance and all this high frequency. So when I come home, like, so I'm reprogramming like literally my home. I'll show you my playlist that I made for this powerful manifestation one. if you guys want to take a picture of that. It's powerful. It works. So literally, now that we could put in our own frequencies that we want, I mean, I don't even know what else to say. To me, $149, are you kidding me? This company is one of the most generous companies I've ever come across. Not just financially, but their hearts. We are blessed. I'm going to stop the recording and see if anybody has any more questions. Because I don't want to keep you here forever because I can.